Good morning. Good to see everybody. Welcome. So tonight is our last Sunday on live stream. So live stream peeps, if you're watching us, please come and be with us in person if you are vaccinated, and please join us. Starting next Sunday is the last day altogether. Saturday is the last live stream, so July 31st. And we'll come into a comfortable place together this morning. Just let the body start to feel the earth beneath your body. Start to feel the connection with that large surface beneath you. Begin to notice your breath. Each in-breath and out-breath is an opportunity to experience the aliveness of this body, this experience, and this time on this earth. And try to kind of frame it in a extraordinary way, so that sometimes I find myself just remembering the miracle of this experience, kind of reframing. We're not just a body that just got out of bed and came, like this is, like we are alive in this time right now. And wow, what a incredible occurrence that is. That our ancestors have gone through so much, and we've gone through so much to get to this point. Just feel the awe in that. And the grandeur of this universe, and how small we are, but also how large our awareness is. Just to kind of feel into the experience. And start to expand your awareness to include the entire universe, including like the vast sky and other planets, and how tiny this earth is, floating in space. Yet at the same time, this experience of ground. Just a few more in-breaths and out-breaths. Let the body become porous in its ingestion of all of the beingness, this experience of aliveness, and the energies of this field that we are creating together. And slowly start to move your body now to awaken the senses. Let the body start to kind of stretch or bend. And if you're lying down, maybe bend your knees for a little hug and a little bit of a rocking side to side. Or bending and extending of the legs. Whatever comes to you. And eventually you roll over on your side and come on up into a seated position. Bringing the palms to the heart space or planting them on the chest and the belly. Take a moment to find this deep reverence for your life, for this heartbeat. Remembering that we are a part of this universe. We are an extension of whatever that source is. Submerged in matter, yet incredibly spacious when we deeply sink into our beingness. And we open with the sacred sound of Om. First, the cleansing breath. Inhale. Beautiful. As you slowly open your eyes, flutter your eyes open, start to circle the shoulders a little bit up and down, getting into your shoulder joints, and then start to also expand open through the arms, wider and wider each time, to give your shoulders a little bit of a process in expanding. And then maybe even expanding the arms a little wider and getting into your wrists as well. While you're at it, you might find some side bending that feels right. You might find some stretching forward and back. And I find that each time around it's a little different. Each time around it changes based on how I slept and how my body is handling, waking up. And then slowly come into a table pose and make your way into some arching and curling of the spine, and let there be a process once again of slowly going deeper into every single movement. So we have our One Voice info session today at 11 after this class. If you are interested in hearing about our training, please stick around. And what I teach in the training is the different phases of a class. One of the things that we teach is this experience of the elements within our bodies. So in this phase right now, we are in the water element. We just grounded with earth. And we're starting to kind of move a little bit like water in a fluid way. Maybe you start to walk your hands a couple of handprints forward and shift forward and back. Fluid like water. And it's the warm-up phase of the class, so we're just kind of circling through the hips maybe, or getting into the side bodies. And once you've moved in this shape for a while, make your way eventually into a child pose. And sometimes I walk around and I assist in my classes and I provide some healing and some adjustments. But if you'd rather not be assisted today, please raise your hand so that I can honor your space. Thank you. And now take your way into this like complete release of the chest into the ground and letting go of the shoulders. So if you're expanding your arms so far forward, see if you can actually just relax the expansion for a moment so that you're not yanking on your shoulders anyway. Deep breath in and breath out. Slowly come on back up and stand on your knees. Still continuing to move a little bit. Take some side bends on your knees towards the right and towards the left. And see here how you're going to have to really activate those knees firm into the ground and hug your inner thighs towards one another, squeezing your glutes and pressing your hips forward a little bit more in order not to be all loosey-goosey with your joints. And eventually step the left foot forward and toe heel it towards the outside edge of the mat, kind of facing toes sideways a bit. Take your left hand into your inner thigh, reach the right arm again, readjust by tucking the tailbone under, pressing the hips forward. And now use the activity of that left arm to side bend again. And this should give you a bit more traction in the pose. Then place both hands a bit more forward on the ground and take a few shifting back and forth and maybe some circular motion around your hips. Just to access your legs, access your inner thighs and inner hips. Eventually, keep your right hand under your right shoulder and activate both limbs into the earth as you twist towards the bent leg. Good. Inhale here. With the exhale, slowly just wrap that arm behind the other and do it a couple more times. Inhaling, open, and exhaling, threading. 2 more. Good job. Now, release the hand down, rise back up onto your knees, and step the other leg through. Using the firmness of that right arm to expand upwards with the left, and a bit of a deeper side bend. The activation of the right hand should also activate the hip flexors here a bit. Beautiful. Come back through, plant your hands on the ground and do the same kind of motion back and forth. Maybe some circular, tiny little circles around the hip. Maybe some deep extensions back and forth. Flexion and extension of that knee. Taking it eventually into that twist, activate hand into the ground, open up to the right, breath in, and breath out. Nice. Plant your palms down and re-step that leg back, coming into your downward facing dog. Let there be the expansion of the entire back body as you pedal your feet. Inhale together. And with the exhale, shift forward in a plank pose. Hold the strength of the plank here, pulling the navel in and up. Squeeze your glutes and your legs, and lower down to Chaturanga Dandasana. First time around, you might lower the knees. And open it into a baby cobra. Inhale. With the exhale, back to your downward facing dog. Let's bend the knees a lot. Press the hips back with the in-breath. With the out-breath, walk or float forward in a forward fold. The legs should feel pretty okay now with some warming up that we did earlier in the water phase. And we're still pretty watery in our motions. Maybe grabbing a hold of opposite elbows. We slowly start to rise up to standing, inviting the arms to reach overhead eventually with the deep in-breath. And with the out-breath, bow, hinge from the hips, forward fold. In a halfway lift. Out as you plant your palms, stepping back in a plank pose. Hold active plank. Notice the strength of your muscles around your elbows. So you're micro-bending a little in the elbows versus locking your elbows. Take it to Chaturanga Dandasana. Knees can also release anytime. Maybe even a couple of push-ups. And into upward dog or baby cobra again. Inhale. And exhale. Good job. Taking it in together and out together. And the right leg rises to the sky with the next in-breath. With the out-breath, bring the knee to the chest, curl it, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, lengthen it back, and exhale, step forward. Find your crescent lunge here as you step forward, bending back knee, tucking pelvis under. And feet hip distance. So if you're standing on one, like in one line, it's going to be a lot harder to balance. Did you see that? But when I actually stabilize my foundation with a wider stance, there is an opportunity to balance better. And we're going to take a few dips up and down, inhaling and exhaling. So starting with the fire phase of class here in the fire element, walking you through our sequencing, there's the opportunity to start to get pretty fiery in the legs, in the belly. With the breath. Notice the body likes fire, likes the heat. And if it doesn't like it, just pretend. Fake it till you make it. Let's do 3 more, up and down. Good. And now dial the back heel down and open up the body to the side. Expand the front leg and come into a triangle pose. So hinge towards the mirrors and then let the body kind of bend, the side bends. Good job. Good. And here, just notice if there's any tightness around the shoulders that you can relax into. Soft shoulder, nice. Deep breath in. And breath out. And then come on up to center for your warrior 2. Bend the knee, holding the pose, relax your shoulders a lot. And reverse your warrior, inhale. Good, with the exhale, cartwheel the hands through, come into a runner lunge and take a twist to your right. Keeping your left hand on the ground, open it up, beautiful. Nice spreading of energy upwards through the fingertips. One more breath in together. With the breath out, plant the palms and step back in a downward facing dog. Breathe it in together. With the out breath, shift forward in a plank and take it through your vinyasa all the way back to downward dog. Now, each time I tell you to shift forward and take your vinyasa, you might choose to simply hold your plank instead for a bit. Or you might choose to do some push-ups, or you might choose to skip the push-ups altogether and go straight to downward dog. Deep in breath and out breath, beautiful. And left leg slowly rises up with the inhale. The exhale takes the knee to the chest as you curl it. One more time, lengthen back. And step it forward to take those dips again. First, a crescent, hip distance apart. Active legs. Then the dips. Inhale up and exhale dip. Invoke that fire element in your being. Invoke the transformation of fire in your being. And just start to feel the alchemy in your body transforming, changing old energies into new energies. So much is happening in the body, this miraculous body. 3 more, in and out. Good job. And now taking it into your triangle pose again. Nice long expansion of the leg as you hinge and open. Good. Taking it in and out. Relaxed shoulders. One more, inhale. With the exhale, rise to your warrior 2. Holding it, active feet into the earth. And then reverse your warrior. Breath in. On the breath out, cartwheel the hands through, come into a runner lunge and a twist to your other side. I love how some of you are automatically changing the placement of the back foot to make the feet a bit more hip distance apart. And then as you twist, we're going to avoid internally rotating the bottom shoulder and press it kind of back so that it doesn't dip in. Good job. One more relaxed effort through the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, release and step back to downward dog. Taking your vinyasa through if you wish, or skipping it. Deep breath in together. Long breath out together. Bend the knees a lot. Press your hips back. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, walk or float together in a forward fold. Slowly rise up to standing, a little bit at a time. Two arms reach overhead, breath in. And breath out, palms to heart space. Good. Now, we're going to flow again, feet hip distance apart. First, find that suction cupping in the ground with your feet, lifting and separating your toes, ground down through the corners of the feet. Release the toes and feel as though you're gripping the ground. You're not actually going anywhere. If anybody pushes you, there's this like suction cupping in the ground. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, bow, hinge from the hips, forward fold. In for a half lift. Out as you plant palms, step back, plank pose. Strong active plank, breath in. Breath out, either skip it or Chaturanga Dandasana, back to your downward facing dog. Taking it in, sighing it out. And we very, very gently lift that right leg up towards the sky with the breath in. The breath out brings the knee to the chest, curl it, lengthen it back, inhale. Exhale, knee to chest, step forward, warrior one. Back heel dials down, back foot is still facing as much forward as it's possible for the ankle. As you sink into that right knee a little bit more, there's this activity through both feet that you're activating. So you're not just leaving that back foot. That back foot is still active and strong in the ground. Interlace the hands behind the back or place them on your hips, hinging forward into a humble warrior. See if you can relax the shoulders when you do this and just kind of squeeze the upper back muscles towards one another. The arms don't have to go that high. They can just press back for a nice little stretch. Breath in. On the breath out, warrior two. Release the hands and rise back up. Holding your warrior two, feel the activity in both feet once again. So each time around in this fiery phase of class, we really want to feel the ground. We haven't lost earth, right? We haven't lost earth. Earth is always with us. Without earth, we collapse. So see if those shoulders can fully relax. And we also haven't lost water. Water element is still within our body. We are 75% made of water. So keep that breath fluid and going. The ease around the posture, right? And then we come into a side angle lunge. Right forearm onto right thigh. And remember the first thing that we did when we were doing the side bend, standing on our knees? We put that elbow or that forearm to the inner thigh for a side bend. See if you can kind of feel into that same sensation of activating forearm into inner thigh, pressing back with the leg, taking it into a side stretch. And see if your neck can be incorporated too, to strengthen the neck so it's not collapsing down. Deep in breath. On the out breath, rise up and come into a wide-legged stance for a wide-legged forward fold. So coming down into that forward fold, keep it active in the legs and bow forward. And now, what is it like to Release tension a little bit more from the torso and shoulders area. And activate the legs into the earth more firmly in order to feel that. Taking it in and letting it go. And then at some point, you will walk your hands back towards your right foot for another runner lunge. Keep the feet hip distance apart and drop the back knee to the ground, taking it into a low crescent, reaching those arms overhead for a heart opening here, relaxing your shoulders. So one option is to sink a little bit further into that hip, but engage leg and knee into the ground and come into goalpost arm for a heart opening. Others will take the hands behind the head, activate head against hands, hands against head, as you squeeze those shoulder blades muscles, opening through the heart chakra a little bit more. Breath in and breath out. Beautiful. Keep the back knee on the ground. Place your left hand on the ground, and let's take that same motion we did before. When you toe heel that foot to the outside edge of the mat and take it into a twist, breathe it in. Good. On the breath out, plant both hands to the middle, curl the back toes under, and toe heel that foot back more, that right foot back more to make space. The front foot is going to toe heel outside of the mat. And then the left hand will move to the edge of the mat a bit more. Here I'm going to take you into that threading of the back leg through if it's available, or a simple twist. There you go. Now notice how you just collapsed into your armpit. Press the floor away. Inhale. With the exhale, plant your palms back down. Step the back foot back, curling toes under. Then take your time to extend the right leg up and back in a three-legged dog. So we're opening through that right leg with the in-breath. With the out-breath, we're going to bring the knee to the chest and then press the right leg to the side, activating that edge of the leg on the ground, then dialing the back heel down to come into another side plank. Stay active in both legs, press your hips up, breath in, breath out, come back through, and find your plank. Strong, active plank, breath in, on the breath out, elbows come to the ground. Forearm plank. For 8, 7, I'll do it with you. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the hips. Open your heart for Sphinx pose. Activate elbows firm into the earth and back, tractioning. Do you feel the fire? Feel the fire? Good. All right, let's come on back up into a forearm plank. Hold it strong. We're going to do this 3 sets. 7, 6, strong legs, quads 2, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower hips, forearm plank, turns into Sphinx, activating elbows down and back. Open your heart. Let's do it again. Activate elbows, curl toes under, find that forearm plank. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower hips. And now turn this forearm plank into a locust pose. Expand the arms, squeeze your upper body, lift your legs too. Deep breath in, long breath out. One more. And out. Plant hands alongside chest. Reverse, push up it, and back to downward dog. Hallelujah. Let's take that left leg up towards the sky with the inhale. The exhale, knee to the chest, curl it. In, lengthen it back. Out, stepping into warrior one. Good. Nice. Now coming into that humble warrior, interlace hands or stack them behind the hips and hinge. This is every time we hinge forward, we want to activate the feet even firmer down into the ground. Good. Releasing the arms to open into warrior two. You're in a different spot.
Yeah. I just like corners.
Relax your shoulders a lot. Keep your knee nicely bent. Keep your back foot really, really active. And then take it into that side angle. Nice activation of that arm into the leg. Nice lifting up and core engagement. Beautiful job. Deep breath in together. When the breath out, rise and come into a wide-legged stance for a wide-legged forward fold. Any variation of the arms here you might like, expanding into interlacing the hands behind the back on the way down. But if you have any shoulder issues, you might try not to overdo it on those shoulders. Yeah. So up and back. Good job. Deep in breath. And a long out breath. Notice if you're locking your knees at all, just subtle, subtle, subtle micro bend. Good job. Good. Now slowly walk your hands towards your left foot, coming into a runner lunge. Drop the back knee to the ground and come on up into that heart opener again. So you want to adjust the placement of the back foot so that when you hinge forward, that front knee is still pretty much over the ankle. Squeeze your glutes, activate knee into the ground, activate heel into the ground, and then rise up for a heart opener. Or hands behind the head, pressing hands against head, head against hands. Feel into the expansion of the front of the body. Throat opens, chest opens. And a release back down into another twist, keeping the back knee on the ground, toe heel, that foot to the outside edge, and taking a twist. Good job. Release the left hand to the inside. And then now, take that leg even further back and off the mat. The more back you take it comfortably, the more space you have in the front to thread the leg. The other thing that happens is that that arm is too close, so we want to walk it out to the side so that when we do thread, we're not collapsing into our shoulders. Yeah. There you go. Press up. Nice, Stacy. For 3, 2, and 1. Come back and find a 3-legged dog. Readjust the placement of your hands onto the mat, opening up through the hip. And then bringing the knee back towards the chest in a plank. From here, extend your leg through to the side, dialing the back heel down, opening up into a side plank. One more inhale. The exhale takes you back to plank, into a forearm plank. We'll just do 10 here. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the hips. Open your heart once again. Now take your fingertips forward, tent them on the ground. Lift your chest. Engage your legs. Feel how your lowermost ribs are still on the ground. Keep them there. Keep the legs engaged. Then expand the arms for locust pose and lift the legs. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Press up, reverse push up, and back. Downward facing dog. Breathe it in and out. Shoulders relaxed. Good job. Now relax your torso. Let me just stretch you. Relax your whole torso. Yes. Fully, fully, fully. Yes. Nice job, everybody. Bend the knees a lot. Press the hips back. Look forward with the inhale. Exhale, walk or float in a forward fold. Slowly roll up a little bit at a time. 2 arms reach overhead. Inhale. And exhale. I saw some of you floating forward. So I just want to show you a quick tip for floating forward. So if you want to float forward, see if you can find this motion of like kind of launching forward, and then get the hips to lift higher before landing. So that there's this like action of tailbone going up and over, and the legs going along for the ride more. See, there's this like legs coming along for the ride, forward. Sometimes a visual can help. So let's do it together if you want to float. If you don't want to float, just relax in a downward dog. Everybody go to your downward dog. Inhale. Exhale. Now, walk your feet just a tiny bit forward. Bend your knees, press your hips back, and first play with that launch, kind of like what I showed you. Yeah, just kind of landing back in your down dog, just lifting your legs off the ground slightly. Yeah, and when you land, see if you can get those, feel as if your body is an elastic, and when you land, like land lightly and press back again, like an elastic band. Then use that momentum to hop forward, lifting your hips up and over, taking a bit nice. Yeah. And some of us actually taking those feet to the outside of the hands might feel a little easier too. Kind of like this. Gives you a bit more space when you land. All right. Ground down through the legs again. Feel your feet on the ground. The heat in your body. Now, bringing the palms to heart space. Shift your weight into your right leg, into a balance here. We're going to lift the left knee up. And then slowly extend that left leg forward. Holding strong, active, maybe supporting it with the interlaced hand underneath. Squeeze that left glute, squeeze that right glute. And we're going to come into a warrior 3, elongating the left leg. Feel the fire, pull the navel in and up and relax your shoulders. For 3, 2, and 1. Land the foot in your crescent and dial the back heel down to come into warrior 2 facing the back of the mat. If you have a block with you, take it, or a water bottle. We're going to find the block or the water bottle about a few inches from your left foot, and so your left leg is bent for warrior 2. And you're going to launch into Ardha Chandrasana half moon from there. Yeah, switch legs. That's what happened. Good. Now, once you come into your Ardha Chandrasana, see if you can just bring your fingertips onto that water bottle so that you're not really using it for support. Good job, Gloria. Now, micro bend slightly that left knee and squeeze your glutes. This will help you support the pose. Beautiful, Jack. Keep the firmness of the foot on the ground like I showed you before. All corners gripping the ground. Then land the foot back in a wide-legged stance. Heels go in, toes go out, goddess pose. Welcome back. Good. Now, see if you can open your heart just a little bit more here, squeezing your shoulder blades muscle. Nice. Take your arms forward, make fists circle your wrists around. Then find that Lotus Mudra right there at your heart space. See if you can squeeze the lower body into the ground while at the same time open your heart space, open your throat space, and just energetically feel a certain delight in your heart. Yeah. It's possible that during discomfort we can still feel delight in different places. One more inhale. With the exhale, come back through to face the front into both legs extended like in Parshvottanasana, pyramid pose. I'm going to show you something really quick. So all we're going to do is bow forward into Parshvottanasana. Some of us are going to stay here. Others are going to come into a standing split. And from standing split, we're going to eventually get to the other side. But you can do it in a funky way if you want. by walking the hands a bit more forward and doing a bit of a scissor kick to the other side and rising up into balance. Or you can skip the scissor kick and just do a hop switch. Ready? Activate feet into the ground and slowly bow forward. First, relax and enjoy this stretch. Hands are on a block or not. Some of us will transition into a standing split, others won't. And now the hop switch, what it looks like is you're going to bend that standing knee, plant the hands more forward than you think, and then hop switch. So you might have to walk back on your mat a little. Good. Now take that right knee up towards the chest, balancing on the other side. Palms to heart space. Deep breath in. On the breath out, extend that leg. Same sequence on the other side. Maybe interlacing the hands behind the thigh, finding a higher lift throughout the chest. Deep breath in together. On the breath out, a warrior 3 or airplane pose. Keep your gaze on the ground, on a place that is stable. Keep your gaze soft, yet alert. Deep breath in. On the breath out, land in your crescent, mindfully yielding to the ground. Then dialing the back heel down and switching to turn into warrior 2, facing the back. And then prepping to take that same Ardha Chandrasana half moon balance to the other side. Don't forget the glutes. Good job. One more breath in. On the breath out, land the foot back. Come into a wide-legged stance and heels in, toes out for goddess pose. One last goddess. Good. Taking the lotus mudra to your heart again. Finding the lift upwards through the crown, the pull downwards through the tailbone. Relaxed shoulders, relaxed hands. And then slowly transitioning into one last. I'm adding that in, wide-legged forward fold. It's a nice little release. Good. Letting that kind of just take all of that tension off the upper body. Good. Wonderful job. Slowly rise up, activating feet into the ground firmly. Then turn towards me again for a wide-legged stance facing the front. Back foot hip distance apart from the front. Preparing to take, again, that Parshvottanasana into a standing split with a hop switch at the end. So some of you are ending up here, and then it gets a little worrisome here because they could be kind of wet. So I would just walk yourself back and walk your hands plenty forward before you do that hop switch. Okay, so bow coming into that Parshvottanasana. Taking the left hip back, dialing and internally rotating the right hip as you shift your weight a bit more forward. Deep in-breath and out-breath. Maybe a standing split if you did it before. Maybe not. And a hop switch. Woohoo! Now take the left knee back towards the chest. Activate the right leg into the ground to rise into balance again on this side. Inhale. And exhale. Release the foot down and flow back to your downward facing dog. Deep breath in. On the breath out, bow, forward fold. In for a halfway lift. Out, taking your vinyasa or skipping it to down dog. From downward dog, we will come into a prone pigeon. If you want to take a different kind of a pigeon, do that on your own. The right leg goes forward. We stay a while to make it into a nice gentle process of unfolding, a little bit at a time. Deep in-breath and out-breath. Relaxed shoulders, relaxed back, relaxed neck. Relaxed nervous system. Good. Now just imagine that you're in every single breath letting go of one more layer of tension in your body. What is it like to fully let the ground receive all of that extra emotional and physical weight? Deep breath in and a long breath out. Full relaxation around the shoulders, the jaw, the neck. One more in breath and a long out breath. Nice. Coming through once again, out of the stretch. This time, if you are in a prone pigeon, wrap your back leg through to come into a seated position. If you're lying down on your back, you can do some stretches on your own. If you don't want to come back up, that's fine. All we're going to do here is find a wide-legged or a straight-legged forward fold. You might do the same on your back if you wish, just lifting those legs up to the sky. Or you might come up to seated. Deep in breath together. And a long out breath together. Nice, rise back up, nice and slow. Let's go into a seated twist. So some of us will take that right leg and extend it forward, take the left leg up and over. Some of us will keep the left leg in as we twist towards the left. See if that body can find the elongation in the spine before the twist. Yeah. Deep in breath and out breath. Coming back through to the center. Let's make our way into a downward dog again. For that prone pigeon, cross the feet. Shift into a table or down dog. And rise as you bring the knee to the front again. And we'll very, very kind of slowly come back to that fuller experience of the pose. Deep in breath and out breath. One side might be a little bit less tight than the other, you might notice. Nice elongated spine, relaxed shoulders. And letting the body become porous. Receiving the exchange of space. Breath by breath, we let go of a little bit more of that weight that we're carrying. Deep breath in together. And a long breath out together. Beautiful. Slowly coming out of the pose to allow for that back leg once again to circle through to the front. And take that twist again. We're going to skip the forward fold. Now taking the twist to the other side. So we're twisting towards the mirrors. In breath and out breath. Beautiful, nice length throughout the spine as you inhale. And with the exhale, just twisting a little bit more through the mid-back. Shoulders relaxed. Good. Come back through to the middle. Extend the legs forward and start to slowly sink back onto your sacrum. Take those heels and ground them firm into the ground, and let that grounding of both the heels and the sacrum slowly start to bring you all the way down as slowly as possible to the ground. I forgot. You have to turn around. It would have been a nice ending, but all right, let's everyone settle back into the earth and eventually kind of take one last movement or stretch before Shavasana. Some of you might take that happy baby pose, others a shoulder stand or a final twist. Or maybe you're coming in Shavasana and needing stillness right away. And feeling into the experience of weight against the earth. And the experience of space. And the complete letting go throughout the neck and the shoulders. As you come into your final pose of stillness, Shavasana, open yourself up once again to the receiving of light. Open your heart space, your throat space, your face, the crown of the head energetically. resting in the light. Notice what these words invoke in your being, to rest in the light. In my experience, I find that sometimes I have to imagine a little bit of sunlight peeking through the trees. How it peeks through in the most beautiful way and shines through onto my face, my chest, reminding me that in every moment, no matter how difficult, I can direct my attention to that image and let it relax my nervous system. Imagine my feet grounded, strong in the earth, with roots underground. Remembering my sense of belonging to this earth. Remembering my soul's journey on this earth. Realizing the vastness of this universe that I'm in. And finding the gratitude for being awake and aware of this existence, this grace. And as we become so open and aware, the whole of nature becomes aware of our existence as well. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachitananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niranamaya Tejase Take a breath in together and sigh it out. And start to slowly move the body to reawaken your experience of movement in a most gentle way. As you slowly decide to either remain reclined to close or roll over onto your side to rise. And we face each other again. And the hands come back to the heart. And honoring three things on a regular basis. Honoring ourselves, our journey in this lifetime. Honoring each other, honoring all of our relationships, recognizing them as teachers really on this path. Some teachers are pleasant, some teachers are not, but they are teachers nonetheless. And honoring the mystery out of which all things arise and transform. We close together with the sound of Om. First a cleansing breath. Inhale. I thank you for allowing me to teach you today. The Great Spirit in me honors the Great Spirit in you. Namaste. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you.